Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a hilarious video for you here today from the wall. It is titled Ungrateful Fiancé Breaks Off Her Engagement Upon Meeting a Millionaire. This is something so many modern women do, guys. They think that they can trade up. They think that they can get the next guy, that what they have is never good enough. And sometimes it backfires and sometimes it is hilarious.
So I got on a date last night and he tells me about his roommate. Guess who he lives with?
His wife, ex-wife.
Nope, better.
Ex-wife, baby mama.
Better.
Grandma.
Better.
Mother.
Better.
Mother-in-law.
Better.
Daughter.
Better.
I said daughter too.
Oh, Jesus. Who the fuck does he live with?
His husband. Wait, it's not over.
What I find interesting is how these kind of stories are no longer shocking. With the amount of cringe that modern women post, these kind of stories are like an average Tuesday for most of us at this point.
Kelly!
You ready for the next part? No, that's the best part. No, they are not together. He's straight. They did it for the benefits from the military. So,
For who? For him or him?
both. So his husband, who's in the military, gets extra BAH.
Right. If you're married, okay.
So he doesn't have to pay for housing.
Part of me wants to give props to the man for using the system to his advantage, but another part of me wants to slap him upside the head for telling a woman this, because as we all know, modern women have no filter and aren't really capable of keeping their mouths shut a lot of the time.
And he gets...
Stop it. Get some help.
I think that maybe if this woman spent less of her time yapping on TikTok and more time taking care of her skin, she wouldn't come across as a complete witch, and maybe people would actually empathize with her. Guys, I don't want you to be a witch either, which is why today's video is sponsored by Tiege Hanley. Guys, Tiege Hanley is a skincare company dedicated to creating straightforward skincare solutions for men. Their systems are designed to be incredibly easy to use, so perhaps if you're someone watching this, you're a male womanist and you're a bit dense, even you have the chance to follow along. Tiege Hanley offers various skincare systems to help improve your skin, but personally I recommend starting with their level 1 system. It has a face wash, it also has an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, and a PM moisturizer as well, which is everything you need to get started with your simple skincare routine. I personally use Tiege Hanley's level 1 system since even before they sponsored the channel, which means I think they are a great recommendation that I can make to you guys. And guys, here's the proof. Don't just take my word for it. If you head on over to their website and you take a look at the reviews, you will find a ridiculous amount of positive 5-star reviews from all over the world. I'm going to put some reviews up on screen now for you to take a look at as well. And guys, because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering an incredible deal exclusively for you. Just click the link in the video description now to get 40% off of your first box plus a free gift as well. Plus, as a member of Tiege Hanley, you will also get 20% off of your future purchases. So guys, don't hesitate any longer. Check out the link in the video description to start your skincare journey today. But anyway, let's get back to today's episode.
I don't know if this woman is aware of what she did, but to me, I'm not sure if she realizes it. She just confessed to a crime. I'm pretty sure that's illegal and considered fraud, especially when those men aren't gay. Maybe a lawyer or law enforcement officer will clarify in the comments, but you can see here that trusting information to a woman these days is risking it being known by everyone.
The ethics of this man's decision can be argued for years. The problem is that this woman exposed the secrets of a man she barely knew for a few chuckles from a co-worker and then decided to post it online. These women cannot be trusted with anything.
Because she couldn't keep the secret and even set it on video. God willing, these men don't end up in trouble.
I catfished this guy thinking he was catfishing me. I'm currently at the airport. We agreed to meet here because he is from America. But he is here. I can see him. You can't see him in this, but I can see him. and he doesn't know what I look like, obviously. I catfished him.
Let's go ahead and translate what she said. She lied to a guy on a dating app. She was not honest about what she looked like. And this man just took an expensive international flight to meet her. And she did it because she immediately assumed that he was being dishonest, which makes zero sense.
He thinks I'm Sophie Rain. I sent him Sophie Rain photos telling him that was me. So he is probably over there somewhere looking for Sophie Rain, and he's not going to find her, because if you didn't know, I'm not Sophie Rain. I feel really bad and I don't know what to do. He's flown from America to the UK.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I'm going to make a judgment call here and say that they're both idiots. She sent him photos of a spicy content creator, and he immediately hopped a flight across the world to see her. Nobody's winning in this particular game.
Only a man would do something this stupid. Honestly, with all the ways to connect these days, you couldn't do a video call first? You're talking to a woman you don't know and risking traveling to her country without even seeing her once. Even worse, this woman takes another woman's picture to deceive men. Can you imagine how many men she's scammed out of money or made fun of like this?
I honestly don't think they had this in mind when passport bros were telling men to get their passports. Men have to be careful when dealing with a woman online. There's just too many risks involved to just go on blind trust.
This has gone so viral that even Sophie Rain herself responded. Let's take a look.
He thinks I'm Sophie Rain.
Hey, so that's insane. I'm sorry to the person who is waiting at the airport, thinking that they're about to meet me, who thinks that they've been texting me. You're texting this girl who's pretending to be me, and I'm really sorry. That's really lame and gross.
Sophie Rain, you've kind of got the wrong end of this. So, yeah, fair enough, I did borrow your face and tell a guy that maybe I looked like you, but it was all my personality.
We know it was your personality, madam. That's the problem. You're a liar, plain and simple. You lied to this man, and he's never going to be able to trust you. And when you have spicy content creators coming to the defense of the man that you deceived, you know you screwed up royally.
That was real. I just used your face and body. But, like, also, I do think you're being a bit of a spoiled sport about this. I knew I should have used Aisha's photos. She would have been so much cooler about it. Like, if you don't mind, just send me, like, a photo of you looking really sick in bed so I can, like, maybe send it him and tell him that was the reason I couldn't meet him. If you don't mind, of course.
So not only did this woman lie to this man, she also ditched him at the airport just to avoid the embarrassment of having to take accountability for her lies, even after her video went viral. Real class act right there, guys.
Honestly, these days, there are no normal women. These young women are honestly scary. They're out of their minds. The worst part is that she later meets up with the guy, who finds out about the deception. She clearly allowed herself to be seen because she discovered he was a rich man with a yacht. Let's take a look.
Major catfish update, major catfish update. I met him. So we all know that I catfished a guy, telling him I looked like Sophie Rain. He flew all the way from America to the UK to meet me, Sophie Rain. I met him today. You know, he told me there was a few things he hadn't told me yet, and he wanted to tell me in person.
This guy may have money, but he absolutely lacks brains. Even when this woman clearly lied to him, he still wanted to tell her more about himself. This is a move that can only be made by the biggest of simps.
He forgot to mention the fact that he is rich. I'm on his yacht. Let me see if I can take you upstairs and show you. Guys. Sorry, Sophie Rain. You missed out.
Hey, bro. What? Oh, my God!
As the saying goes, money makes the monkey dance. Modern women will do anything for money.
What's really messed up with this is how she seemed perfectly fine with treating this guy like dirt, but then immediately started bragging about how she was able to get on an expensive boat.
If you recall the intro video, she had a boyfriend and mentioned he wouldn't let her meet guys with yachts. What happened to the boyfriend? She took him out of the picture to go after the guy with the yacht. The same guy she initially mocked by catfishing him. Money, brothers, can change any woman's attitude. Because, as I said, money makes the monkey dance.
Having money will certainly make certain aspects of life significantly easier. There is no doubt about that. But there's one thing that money can't buy, and that thing is dignity. This man should have ditched her at the docks the same way she ditched him at the airport.
Successful cardiologist on a dating app. But women who went out with him say he was a monster who spiked their drinks and then brutally sexually assaulted them.
So I just saw this story of this cardiologist who sexually assaulted a bunch of women from Hinge, Tinder. The guy sounds like a complete monster. And first of all, before I say what I'm about to say, to preface, these women did nothing wrong. You should not have to worry about someone drugging you and sexually assaulting you who you met on a dating app. But anytime I see stories like this, as someone who uses dating apps, I try to think about how I can keep myself safe, because unfortunately, people like this do exist in the world.
She's not wrong. There are plenty of monsters out there. Nobody would ever debate that. But what that cardiologist did is use an example as to how all men are evil. We're always going to be expected to atone for the sins of monsters, and that's messed up in its own right.
And I was reading an article about this case, and in an interview with one of his victims, she said something that really caught my eye. She said after meeting Matthews at a bar for a drink, she agreed to walk with him to his townhome to let his dog out. And then she also said, I didn't want to be rude and didn't want to offend him, so I took the drink. I think all women have been in this situation where a guy after a date is like, oh, you should come see my backyard, or like, oh, I have this really fancy bottle of wine at my house, you should try. Or like, oh, I'm gonna let my dog out, you should come. And you don't say no, even though your intuition is telling you to say no. And again, she didn't do anything wrong. This is beyond not her fault.
I don't want to blame the victim here, okay? She apparently suffered something horrific, but at the same time, if you just met a guy, going to his house after knowing him for literally a few hours probably isn't the smartest of ideas.
But I do think it's a good lesson for all of us. Never go to a man's house on a first date. And if you don't want to do something, for example, he offers you a drink and you don't want it, he asks you to go to his house to let his dog out and you don't want to. Don't worry about being rude. Do not worry about offending someone. You owe this person nothing. You don't know them. And unfortunately, when you go to someone's house after a first date, you lose the power and the control in the situation because you're no longer on neutral territory and they're essentially in control of the situation. And because I talk about dating and using dating apps so often, I would be remiss if I did not include the fact that things like this do happen, especially because this guy was a cardiologist in Denver.
It is amazing how much power a man's career has over a modern woman's common sense. If a man has money or is good looking, a woman will ignore a bunch of red flags.
He had a great career. He seemed successful. There's nothing that would lead these women to believe that this man was a predator, but yet he was. So always at all costs, avoid being alone with a man who you've met on a dating app for honestly at least the first 4, 5, 6 dates. But I always think it's important to evaluate how to stay safe on dating apps.
Brothers, responsibility is kryptonite for women. I won't deny that this man is a predator. What he did to these women is very wrong, and justice should take care of him. However, I don't agree when she says it's not her fault.
I think we get wrapped up in playing the blame game when it comes to stuff like this, but this is the reality of the world we live in. We're seeing monstrous behavior from both men and women, and now more than ever, you have to stay on your toes when meeting people.
It is partially her fault because she chose to go with him on the first date, with someone she didn't know. This man was a doctor, a highly prestigious career, which means high social value. Remember, women are hypergamous by nature, which makes these types of men seem like a good match to them. This is what made her more willing to go to his house to see what could happen. As we see in the news, it was at his house where he committed the crime. But they were the ones who chose to go, so you can't completely remove their responsibility in this. If he had been a bad match, an average guy, she would have made him pay for several dinners before even considering being alone with him.
We see this all the time with modern women, just like in the last video. The second the woman realized the man had a yacht, she threw all caution to the wind and hopped aboard without a second thought. Money and status will always blind a modern woman until it's too late. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Drop a comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Peace.